Ladies and gentlemen, as we stand on the doorstep of 2025, I want to ask you one question. What are you going to do with the time you've been given? Time doesn't wait, and opportunities don't knock forever. So let's talk about 8 goals that can shape your future, change your path, and redefine who you are. Growth is one of the most essential components of a fulfilling life. It is not just about achieving milestones or accolades, but about constantly evolving into a better version of yourself. It is a lifelong journey, one that requires intentionality, effort, and a willingness to confront your own limitations. Growth begins with the decision to refuse stagnation. If you are the same person at the end of 2025 as you are today, then you've missed an opportunity to evolve. And evolution is what life is all about. Staying the same might feel comfortable, but comfort is the enemy of progress. Growth is rarely comfortable. In fact, it's often uncomfortable. But that discomfort is where transformation takes place. Growth demands self-awareness. You need to take an honest look at where you are now, your strengths, your weaknesses, your habits, and your mindset. Growth begins with asking yourself tough questions. Are you living up to your potential? Are you making excuses instead of taking action? Are you holding yourself accountable, or are you letting life happen to you? These questions can be difficult to face, but they are necessary. Without self-awareness, you'll remain stuck in patterns that don't serve you. And you cannot grow if you're not willing to confront those patterns. Learning is one of the key pillars of growth. The world is changing every day, and if you're not learning, you're falling behind. Growth requires you to be a student of life, always curious and open to new ideas. Read books, attend seminars, listen to podcasts, and engage in conversations with people who challenge your thinking. Don't just learn what's comfortable or familiar, step into areas that make you uncomfortable. Explore subjects you know little about, and expose yourself to perspectives that are different from your own. Every new piece of knowledge expands your horizons and equips you to navigate life with greater understanding and capability. Equally important is the willingness to embrace failure. Growth is not a straight line. It's messy, unpredictable, and often riddled with setbacks. But those setbacks are not the end, they are part of the process. Failure is a teacher, and every failure carries a lesson. The question is whether you'll allow those lessons to shape you or stop you. Growth requires resilience, the ability to get back up after every fall and keep moving forward. It's in the moments when you want to quit, when you're tired, frustrated, and questioning everything, that growth is happening. Don't run from failure, embrace it, learn from it, and let it make you stronger. Discomfort is another key element of growth. It's easy to stay where you are, to stick with what you know, and to avoid the unfamiliar. But growth happens when you push beyond the limits of what feels safe. When you take on challenges that seem too big, when you pursue goals that scare you, and when you step into situations where success is uncertain, that's where real growth occurs. Discomfort forces you to adapt, to stretch, and to rise to the occasion. It reveals strengths you didn't know you had and builds confidence that cannot be shaken. Growth also requires patience. It's easy to get frustrated when results don't come as quickly as you'd like. But growth is not about instant gratification, it's about planting seeds and trusting the process. The progress might be slow, and the changes might be subtle at first, but every small step forward matters. Celebrate those small victories because they are the building blocks of bigger achievements. Growth is not about perfection, it's about progress. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, trust that the work you're putting in is making a difference. Surrounding yourself with the right people is also critical for growth. You cannot grow if you're constantly surrounded by negativity, doubt, and small-minded thinking. Seek out individuals who inspire you, challenge you, and support your journey. These are the people who will hold you accountable, encourage you when you're struggling, and push you to aim higher. At the same time, be willing to let go of relationships that hinder your growth. This can be difficult, but not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. Some people are lessons, and part of growing is learning when to move on. Growth is about becoming the person you were meant to be. It's about unlocking potential you didn't know existed and using it to create a life that is meaningful and fulfilling. Growth is not a destination, it's a journey. It's about waking up every day with the intention to be better than you were yesterday, to learn something new, to take one more step toward your goals, and to refuse to settle for anything less than your best. It's a commitment, a mindset, and a way of life. And in 2025, it's your opportunity to rise. Discipline is the foundation upon which success is built. Without it, even the most ambitious goals will remain out of reach. Discipline is not about perfection, it's about consistency. It's about showing up every single day, regardless of how you feel, what obstacles are in your way, or how difficult the journey may seem. It's easy to be motivated when the road is smooth and everything is going according to plan. But discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation fades, when the challenges pile up, and when quitting feels like the easier option. Discipline starts with making a decision. It's the decision to commit to something greater than your comfort, to choose long-term rewards over short-term gratification. This decision is not one you make once, it's a choice you make every day, sometimes multiple times a day. Discipline is waking up early to work on your goals when it would be easier to stay in bed. It's saying no to distractions and temptations that pull you away from what truly matters. It's sticking to your plans even when your emotions are telling you otherwise. Discipline is not about how you feel in the moment, it's about staying true to your commitments regardless of how you feel. Building discipline requires clarity. You must be clear about what you want and why it matters. Without a compelling reason to stay disciplined, it's easy to lose focus. Why are you pursuing this goal? What will it mean for your life? What impact will it have on others? Discipline becomes easier when you're anchored in purpose. When you have a clear vision of what you're working toward and why it matters, you'll find the strength to stay consistent, even when the road gets tough. Small habits are the building blocks of discipline. It's not about making drastic changes overnight. It's about taking small, consistent steps every day. These steps might seem insignificant at first, but over time, they compound into significant results. Discipline is created in the small moments, the moment you choose to get up when your alarm goes off, the moment you choose to work on your project instead of scrolling through your phone, the moment you choose to stick to your plan instead of making excuses. Each small decision builds your discipline, and each act of discipline strengthens your resolve. Discipline also means embracing structure. It's about creating routines and systems that support your goals. Without structure, it's easy to become overwhelmed or distracted. Set clear priorities and organize your day around them. Break your goals into manageable tasks and schedule time to work on them consistently. Discipline is not about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about removing the guesswork and building habits that make it easier to stay on track. Structure doesn't limit you, it empowers you to focus on what matters most. Discipline requires sacrifice. It means giving up what you want now for what you want most. It's letting go of habits, behaviors, and mindsets that don't align with your goals. It's choosing growth over comfort, persistence over procrastination, and excellence over mediocrity. Sacrifice is not always easy, but it's necessary. You cannot achieve extraordinary results with an ordinary level of effort. Discipline asks you to pay the price for success up front, knowing that the rewards will come later. Accountability is another key to discipline. It's about holding yourself responsible for your actions and outcomes. You can't rely on others to keep you on track. Discipline must come from within. Set clear expectations for yourself and track your progress consistently. When you fall short, don't make excuses. Instead, evaluate what went wrong, learn from it, and recommit to your goals. Discipline doesn't mean you'll never make mistakes. It means you don't let those mistakes derail you. You get back up, refocus, and keep moving forward. One of the greatest challenges of discipline is managing your emotions. There will be days when you feel tired, unmotivated, or discouraged. Discipline is not about ignoring these emotions, but about not letting them control you. It's about learning to act in alignment with your goals, even when your emotions are pushing you in the opposite direction. Discipline is staying consistent on the hard days, because those are the days that truly matter. Anyone can be disciplined when it's easy, but true discipline is forged in difficulty. Discipline also means being patient. The results of your efforts will not appear overnight, and progress may feel slow at times. But discipline teaches you to trust the process. Every small step forward is a step closer to your goals, even if the progress isn't immediately visible. Patience allows you to stay the course, knowing that consistency will eventually lead to success. Discipline is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's about staying committed for the long haul, even when the finish line seems far away. Discipline is a choice. It's a decision to show up, to stay consistent, and to keep moving forward, no matter what. It's a skill that can be developed and strengthened over time. The more disciplined you become, the more empowered you'll feel to take control of your life and achieve your goals. Discipline is not easy, but it's worth it. It's the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Prioritizing health is one of the most critical choices you can make for yourself, because everything else in life depends on it. Without your health, your dreams, ambitions, and goals lose their foundation. You can't fully enjoy the fruits of your hard work if you're constantly battling illness, fatigue, or stress. Your health is not something to be taken for granted or put on the back burner. It requires consistent attention, effort, and intention to preserve and enhance it over time. Taking care of your physical health begins with understanding that your body is your greatest asset. What you put into it matters. The food you eat is not just fuel, it's information for your body. A diet full of processed foods, sugar, and empty calories will rob you of the energy and clarity you need to show up at your best. On the other hand, eating whole, nutrient-rich foods gives your body the tools it needs to function optimally. Prioritizing health means making thoughtful decisions about what you consume, choosing meals that nourish you rather than merely satisfy cravings. Regular physical activity is also essential for maintaining your health. Exercise is not just about losing weight or building muscle, it's about strengthening your heart, improving circulation, boosting your mood, and keeping your body resilient. Moving your body daily, whether through walking, running, yoga, or weightlifting, keeps you connected to your physical self and promotes longevity. The key is to find something you enjoy, something that challenges you but also feels sustainable. Exercise should be a celebration of what your body can do, not a punishment for what you've eaten or how you look. Rest and recovery are just as vital as movement. Your body needs time to repair and recharge, and that means prioritizing sleep. Quality sleep is non-negotiable. It's when your body heals, your mind processes information, and your energy is restored. Burning the candle at both ends might feel productive in the short term, but over time, it will take a toll on your health. Creating a sleep routine, limiting screen time before bed, and ensuring you get enough rest are small steps that yield significant benefits. Mental health is an equally important aspect of prioritizing your overall well-being. Your mind and body are deeply interconnected, and neglecting one will inevitably impact the other. Stress, anxiety, and negative thinking patterns can manifest in physical symptoms, draining your energy and clouding your judgment. Taking time to care for your mental health is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, or journaling can help you manage stress, gain perspective, and maintain a sense of balance in your life. Boundaries play a crucial role in protecting your health. Learning to say no to things that drain you, whether they're toxic relationships, overcommitments, or unhealthy habits, is a form of self-care. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and if you're constantly putting others' needs ahead of your own, your health will inevitably suffer. Prioritizing health means valuing yourself enough to put your well-being first. It's not selfish, it's essential. When you're at your best, you're better equipped to show up for the people and responsibilities that matter to you. Consistency is the foundation of good health. It's not about perfection or following a rigid plan, but about creating habits that support your well-being over time. Drinking enough water, eating balanced meals, exercising regularly, and taking time for rest and relaxation are small actions that, when done consistently, have a profound impact. Health is a journey, not a destination. There will be setbacks, but the key is to keep going, to prioritize your well-being even when life gets busy or challenging. Another vital component of prioritizing health is listening to your body. Your body communicates with you through signals: fatigue, pain, hunger, and even emotions are ways it lets you know what it needs. Ignoring these signals can lead to burnout or illness. Tuning in, recognizing when you need rest, nourishment, or movement, and responding accordingly is a skill that takes practice but pays dividends. Your body is always working to keep you alive and functioning. Taking care of it is the least you can do in return. Health also encompasses preventative care. Regular checkups, screenings, and self-monitoring can catch potential issues early, making them easier to address. It's easy to put off doctor visits or ignore symptoms, but neglecting these aspects can lead to larger problems down the road. Being proactive about your health shows respect for yourself and your future. It's a way of ensuring that you're not just living but thriving. Prioritizing health is about valuing your life and making choices that align with that value. It's about recognizing that your body is the only one you'll ever have, and treating it with the care and respect it deserves. It's about creating a life where you're not just surviving, but truly living, feeling strong, energized, and capable of taking on whatever challenges come your way. Health is the foundation upon which everything else is built, and when you make it a priority, every other aspect of your life benefits. Building meaningful relationships is an essential part of life because human connection is one of the most powerful and fulfilling experiences we can have. At the heart of every meaningful relationship lies trust, respect, and a genuine desire to understand and support one another. Relationships are not about perfection, but about showing up, being authentic, and cultivating a bond that stands the test of time. They require effort, patience, and a willingness to grow alongside one another. One of the key elements in building meaningful relationships is authenticity. To form deep connections, you must be willing to show up as your true self. That means embracing your strengths, your vulnerabilities, and your imperfections. Pretending to be someone you're not might attract surface-level acquaintances, but meaningful relationships are built on the foundation of honesty. When you allow others to see you for who you truly are, you create space for them to do the same. This kind of mutual authenticity fosters trust and deepens the connection. Listening is another cornerstone of meaningful relationships. Often, people listen to respond rather than to understand. True listening involves setting aside your own thoughts and judgments to fully hear and appreciate what the other person is saying. It's about being present in the moment, giving the other person your undivided attention, and validating their feelings and experiences. When you listen deeply, you not only learn more about the other person, but also demonstrate that you value them, which strengthens the bond between you. Building meaningful relationships also requires time and effort. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in work, obligations, and distractions, leaving little room for nurturing connections. However, relationships thrive when you invest in them. This could mean setting aside time for regular check-ins, planning activities together, or simply making an effort to be there when it matters most. It's not about grand gestures, but about consistently showing that you care. A text to check in, a phone call to catch up, or a visit during challenging times can go a long way in solidifying bonds. Empathy is a vital component of meaningful relationships. It's the ability to step into someone else's shoes and see the world from their perspective. Empathy helps you connect with others on a deeper level because it allows you to understand their feelings, experiences, and struggles. It's not about fixing their problems, but about acknowledging and validating their emotions. When you practice empathy, you create a safe space for others to open up and share their authentic selves. Vulnerability is another powerful factor in building meaningful relationships. While it might feel uncomfortable or risky to share your innermost thoughts and feelings, vulnerability is what creates depth in a connection. It's through shared struggles, fears, and dreams that bonds are strengthened. Vulnerability invites others to let down their guard and reciprocate, creating a relationship built on mutual trust and understanding. It's not about oversharing, but about being honest and open in a way that fosters closeness. Boundaries play an equally important role in relationships. While it might seem counterintuitive, setting and respecting boundaries actually strengthens connections. Boundaries communicate your needs, values, and limits, ensuring that the relationship remains healthy and balanced. They prevent misunderstandings, resentment, and burnout by ensuring that both parties feel respected and valued. Relationships thrive when both individuals feel free to express their boundaries without fear of judgment or rejection. Forgiveness is another key ingredient in maintaining meaningful relationships. No relationship is without its challenges, and people are bound to make mistakes. Holding on to grudges or resentment can poison even the strongest of bonds. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning hurtful behavior, but rather choosing to let go of anger and bitterness for the sake of the relationship. It's about prioritizing the connection over the conflict and working together to move forward. Reciprocity is also essential in meaningful relationships. Healthy connections are built on a give and take dynamic where both parties contribute to and benefit from the bond. It's about being there for each other in times of need, celebrating each other's successes, and supporting each other's growth. When both individuals invest equally in the relationship, it creates a sense of balance and mutual respect. Celebrating one another is another often overlooked but critical aspect of building meaningful relationships. It's not just about being there during hard times, but also about showing up to celebrate the good times. Whether it's a promotion, a personal achievement, or a small milestone, taking the time to acknowledge and rejoice in the other person's happiness fosters positivity and strengthens the connection. It shows that you're genuinely invested in their well-being and success. Ultimately, building meaningful relationships is about creating a space where both individuals feel seen, heard, and valued. It's about showing up consistently, practicing empathy, and embracing vulnerability. It's about setting boundaries, forgiving mistakes, and celebrating victories. These relationships are not only a source of joy and comfort, but also a reflection of the effort and care you put into them. They enrich your life, provide a sense of belonging, and remind you of the beauty of human connection.